Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam from ElliotOracle.com, and welcome to my tarot channel. As you can see, I'm on vacation right now, but the monthly oracle must go on. So we're going to do our monthly oracle reveal for all the astrological signs like we do every month here. And I'm going to start with Aries and end with Pisces. And there's these convenient timestamps at the bottom of your screen of which you can quickly go to the relevant message for you and your sign. And if you want an even more accurate reading, you might also want to check out the message for your astrological moon sign and your rising sign as well. So without further ado, let's get into the monthly Tarotscopes for every sign. So first, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Aries. So if you're an Aries or have a lot of Aries in your chart, this first message is going to be for you as to what it's best to place your focus on for September 2023. And we actually get the Seven of Cups reversed. Now, upright or reverse, the Seven of Cups is a card of illusion. And sometimes the warning of this card is not to get stuck in your own illusions. Sometimes this is also a card of worst case scenario thinking or best case scenario thinking, and neither being really rooted in reality or truth. And so when Seven of Cups comes up reversed, it says that it's time to wake up to just the automatic thought patterns that you might be just finding yourself in. It might be a time to be a little bit more conscious about where you're going and also where you're at right now. So for you, Aries, I think it's time to focus on what are the tangible realities this next month. It might be a time to roll up your sleeves and get to work with those things. But it's also a time to snap out of illusion or anything that's keeping you scared or stuck, or overly hopeful or overly fearful about your prospects. Next, we're going to go into advice from your inner wisdom if you're an Aries. And we actually get the King of Pentacles reversed. And when the King of Pentacles comes up reversed, he can indicate that there's some impatience with seeing some results of something that you're really trying to build toward or trying to get yourself empowered through. The King of Pentacles reverse can also indicate that something just isn't in its season right now. And you're going to drive yourself crazy trying to force it or make it work right now or make it do what you want it to do. When instead, that's kind of based in this illusion of perfection, that something's supposed to be a finished product before it's really ready to be. And so, Aries, I just think that you need to slow down a little bit this next month. And I know that's not a phrase that Aries likes to hear. They're all about being go-getters and really pushing ahead. And yet I just kind of feel like you need to stop and breathe and look at the present reality of where things are at before you're really trying to force through this thing that you're trying to see manifest before it's time. I also feel like you just need to give it a season and things will grow in their proper time. But a watched pot never boils. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Taurus. So if you're a Taurus or have a lot of Taurus in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus. And the card I picked for you is the Chariot card. And the Chariot is all about taking action. When you act, you win. When you're passive, hoping, wishing, waiting for life to deliver to you the thing that you most desire, you're going to lose. And so I feel with the Chariot, it's time to go for it. It's time to push ahead. Also, the charioteer is leaving the walled city behind him on the card, which is a symbol for him leaving his comfort zone. So Taurus, it might be a time when you're really stepping out of that comfort zone and you're embarking on the unknown, which is also symbolized by those two sphinxes, the creatures of mystery from ancient Egypt. This might be a time where the mystery is calling you forward and you're needing to push ahead without all the answers of how it's going to go. And that can seem counterintuitive to Taurus because they like to have a plan. They love stability. And yet there's this mysterious thing that's opening up for you in the unknown, in the new things. And so I just feel like it's a time to take action. And any action right now is better than vacillating. So you do want to move forward. Next, we're going to go into advice from your inner wisdom if you're a Taurus. And we actually get the Nine of Cups. And this is a card of plenty, satisfaction. But you can see here the figure who's before the table that's set with 9 golden cups all in a row. And what this could indicate for you, Taurus, is that it's time to take action on setting the table for your future success. This could also be a time, Taurus, where you're needing to find the present banquet that's spread before you and start to enjoy it instead of feeling like it's something that you have to wait for one day. Like, oh yeah, I'll do that. I'll get that going when this and this and this happens. This card can sometimes say it's time to acknowledge the blessing that's right in front of you and partake of all the good things that are available. Sure, there's things in people's lives that aren't finished products, and you might have one aspect of your life which you're really eager to see take off, and it might be frustratingly slow. But there's a banquet of other things that are before you right now that you can enjoy in this moment. And so don't cheat yourself out of the present by being too stuck in future thinking. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Gemini. So if you're a Gemini or have a lot of Gemini in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for September 2023. And the card here we get is Strength Reversed. And when Strength comes up reversed, it's a reminder that you're stronger than you think you are, even if that strength is being tested. Upright or reversed. The Strength card is a card that you have to earn. It's a card of effort, daily effort, where you're just kind of refining something, pushing yourself toward excellence and not giving up on yourself. The woman on the Strength card is wearing the white dress, which is a symbol for your higher self. And she's taming the lion below her, which is a symbol for the things that feel out of control in your life. And when this card comes up reversed, it could be a time when you're doubting your ability to tackle the giant thing in front of you. And yet this card tells you, plug into your spirit. Let your spirit choose your moves for you. And the lion will be tamed in no time. The next card is going to be Advice from Your Inner Wisdom if you're a Gemini. And the card we get is the Sun reversed. And upright or reversed, the Sun is just the best card in the deck. And when it's reversed, it could indicate that you're maybe waiting a little longer for the good result that you're hoping for, and yet it is going to be on the way. The Sun is also just a card of optimism, upright or reversed, and it lessens the effects of any challenging cards that are around it. And so Strength reversed, the Sun reversed. We got these solar images that are kind of reversed right now, which could indicate that you're experiencing a little black rain cloud that's kind of covering up your sunlight at the moment. But rest assured that that cloud is shifting. It is passing at great speed, and the sun is going to return soon. It might also just be a time when you're really getting back in touch with what is most powerful within you, what's higher within you to tackle the challenge that's in front of you. This is really going to help you transcend the difficulty. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Cancer. So if you're a Cancer or have a lot of Cancer in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best to place your focus for September 2023. And the card we get for you is the Queen of Swords. And you can see the Queen of Swords wears the butterfly crown, which means she's a master at transformation. She changes the energy from feeling victimized by something to feeling victorious over it. And the Queen of Swords could be saying for you, Cancer, that this is a time to take action and to move forward and change the energy instead of passively hoping that it's just going to change on its own. Also, this could be a time when you need to be a little bit more direct. And Cancer the crab, if you ever watch crabs walk, they sort of walk sideways. Sometimes they don't want to be 100% direct about something that's a challenge or something that really is sensitive to talk about. And yet the Queen of Swords is really saying it's time to say your piece. It's time to be very direct and clear about what you're requiring at this time. The Queen of Swords is an assertive archetype, but that shouldn't be confused with her being mean or being a bully or just throwing out her 2 cents and then storming off. The Queen of Swords is level-headed. She's logical, and she's thoughtful about what she's about to say before she says it. So I just think that this is a time to critically think if you're a Cancer this next month. And it might also be one of those rare instances, Cancer, where you're really needing to let your head rule your heart instead. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you're a Cancer for September, is the Two of Pentacles. And the Two of Pentacles is a card of unpredictability. There's the wavy waters that are behind the juggler on the card. And so this could be a time when you're feeling like you're juggling something that's unpredictable. This could also be a time when you're weighing 2 different options and you're saying, well, gosh, do I go in this direction or do I move in that one? And yet what you're really needing to do is go with the flow. Also, I just feel that for you, Cancer, this next month, you're going to want to be flexible, emotionally speaking. You're not going to want to just go into the feeling that feels most comfortable and lock yourself in there. You're also going to want to be flexible with your thoughts and really kind of balancing the Queen of Swords energy of what's logical to do here with that Two of Pentacles wavy water energy of, well, I feel like this instead. The juggler on this card is flexible. He's elastic. He's not rigid. And this ensures that he's not going to break or snap in two if there's a difficulty. And so I feel for Cancer this next month, be fluid, go with the flow, and really just kind of align with that element of air, but also water, because that's going to help you get through the stormy seas that are ahead. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Leo. So if you're a Leo or have a lot of Leo in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for September. And the card we get here is the Four of Swords, which is a card of rest. It's also a card of getting centered, convalescence, but it's also a card of peace. In fact, on the stained glass window above the priest's head is the word pax, P-A-X, which is Latin for peace. So this could be a time when you're finding your peace, Leo. It could also be a time to unplug from drama, take a deep breath, take a step back, and let calm supersede your worries. Also, with Four of Swords, it's just a card of slowing down a little bit more. So Leo, maybe it's time to move just 10% a little bit slower. Maybe it's time to take your breaths a little slower, speak a little slower, and really find that calm or that center again. This is really going to help you be clear-headed with what's swirling around you at this time. And finally, the Four of Swords can just indicate it's time for a break. You don't want to burn out. So make sure that you're using the time off, the time that you're away from your tasks, as a time to really replenish. The second card for Leo is going to be advice from your inner wisdom for September. And we actually get the Six of Pentacles. This is a card of cultivating good karma. You can see the figure here who is giving some coins to the poor, and he knows he's not going to get that money back. But you can also see that he's holding those scales, which are there to say that whatever he's giving, he's also going to get. For me, the Six of Pentacles is a card of recognizing angels unaware on your path. And when you're even looking in the eyes of strangers, looking at the light that's within them, looking at the divine spark that's within them, just like it's within you, and really transcending any sort of judgments you might have. Sometimes this card is also one of being open to help or support from other people. So instead of feeling like you have to be in control, you have to do things, maybe this is a month where you need to ask for some help sometimes, or where you're really opening yourself up to the feedback or support of other people. Either way, with you, Leo, this next month, it's going to be important to keep balance, especially in your relationships with others. And it's also important to receive the messages that are coming from spirit through even the voices of strangers. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Virgo. And by the way, happy birthday for September Virgos. First card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for this next month. And we actually get the Two of Wands, which is a card of ambition. And so Virgo, this is a card that's saying you have all that you desire in so many ways, and yet it's not cutting it. You're wanting more. The Two of Wands shows a lord of a manor. He's got a castle with a view. He's got everything he could possibly want on the surface. And yet he wants something more. He's holding the globe. And so this is a time of expansion and also ambition for you, Virgo. This could also be the birthday month where you're really plotting out the course for what your greatest ambitions are and how you're going to achieve them. However, there is one warning with the Two of Wands card, which is the I'll finally be happy when syndrome. Like, I'll finally be happy when I get the perfect job, or I'll finally be happy when I get that perfect house, or I'll finally be happy when I get the perfect partner. And, you know, wherever you go, there you are. If there isn't peace in your heart already, if you're not happy with who you are at the moment, just as you are with all the incomplete imperfections that might be there, then it's going to feel like you're a dog chasing its own tail, going after some of these ambitions. So this message of this card is twofold. On the one hand, you do want to look at your next ambition and the thing that you're trying to accomplish, But you're also needing to be really clear, Virgo, about what is good in your life right now and to really savor and acknowledge it. Next, we're going to go into advice from your inner wisdom for this next month of September. And we get the Page of Cups. And whenever the Page of Cups card comes up, I think of the word sensitivity. And so it could just be a month when you're just a little bit more sensitive than usual. If you're normally, registering an emotion on a scale of 1 to 10 at like a level 5, Page of Cups comes in and you're feeling it at a 15. It's just going to feel a little bit more intense. And the way the Page of Cups really handles this is by finding a channel for these emotions, finding a place to put these feelings. And so for you, Virgo, I really feel it's a time to invest in something that can transmute some of these emotions that you're going through and put it into something constructive, something that can ground those emotions or feelings. And finally, the Page of Cups can be the playful child of the tarot. He can tell you that children might be more of a focus this next month, or to focus on younger people. But he can also tell you to really cherish or to set free your own inner child, that it might have gotten a little too serious for a little too long there. And now it's time to play again, or to be playful, or to find the wonder of life and its adventures that are in front of you. So I just kind of feel for this next month, Virgo, take care of yourself emotionally, because you're just going to be a little bit more sensitive than usual. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Libra. So if you're a Libra or have a lot of Libra in your chart, this first card is where it's best for you to place your focus for September 2023. And we actually get the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords, he's always in a hurry. You can see him racing ahead on his horse here, and he's yelling, go, go, go. And the horse is looking up at him like, are you kidding me? I'm going to drop if you keep pushing me like this. So for you, Libra, I feel like there are deadlines, goals, things you're trying to accomplish here. And there's this intense energy that's around you. And yet you need balance. The horse could represent your physical body, which you're needing to take better care of, or you could have a burnout. So I just feel like slowing down for Libra this next month is going to be really important. Those ambitions are still going to be there. There may be a sense of urgency this next month, like there's just a lot of irons on the fire and you're needing to move around quite a bit. But no one's going to look at you and say, you're looking tired. Maybe you need a break. So it has to be up to you to schedule time for yourself to take that step back and to give yourself care. Also, Knight of Swords can indicate that your ambitions are within reach, but you need to be thoughtful about the people around you as you are going towards your ambitions. Sometimes the Knight of Swords just runs over people on his path, not because he's cruel, but because he's so single-minded about his destination that he's not paying attention. So I think for you, Libra, just be more conscious, aware, get grounded, and look at what's going on around you. But most importantly, slow down. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you're a Libra for September, is the High Priestess card. And the High Priestess is just such an opposite energy from that Knight of Swords energy. She's inviting you back to the quiet place of your inner spirit. She's also seated before that vast ocean, which is symbolizing the lifetimes upon lifetimes of inner wisdom that she's accumulated. But it's obscured by that thin, skimpy veil decorated with pomegranate fruit, which is the fruit of the underworld. This can represent our fear of death and change, and it can obscure that deeper wisdom that we need to transcend to re-access sometimes. And when I couple that Knight of Swords in his immaturity with the wisdom of the wise High Priestess, I kind of feel like you're losing perspective. It's time to get quiet. It's time to do your spirit work. Maybe it's time to journal or do a reading or really access the magic that's within you again. How long ago has it been since you felt magical and felt centered? It might be a time to come home to that. And instead of these external strivings and running on the hamster wheel, the High Priestess is going to call you home. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Scorpio. So if you're a Scorpio or have a lot of Scorpio in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for September 2023. And we got the World card for you, Scorpio, which is the zenith, the pinnacle of the major arcana. It's the final card. And what it represents is finishing cycles, completion, and movement forward. So, Scorpio, I'm seeing something that's a really long standing thing finally coming to a close. And I feel that an old cycle may come to a point of completion for you. This is also a card of graduation and elevation and leveling up in your own life. So, with some of these changes that are going on around you, it might be a time when you are completing, you are finishing, you are really soaring to that next level. Also, the World card can indicate that you're needing to take a more holistic approach to the challenges in front of you. And instead of just zeroing in on one problem or one issue and chewing on it over and over, it might be a time to be a bit more expansive and to look at things from many different angles. Overall, for you, though, Scorpio, I just feel like this is going to be a month where you're completing something that's been a long cycle coming. Second card is going to be advice from your inner wisdom if you're a Scorpio for September. And we got the Seven of Pentacles, which is sometimes a card of being patient. And that is the number one word everyone hates in a tarot reading. They say, patient. I've been patient. I've been being patient for 20 years. And, when is this going to happen? And yet the Seven of Pentacles is saying that all your ducks are in a row. You've planted all the seeds to the best of your ability to lead to some of this future security. And what you're needing to do right now is to keep your hands off, to step back, and to let things grow at their own pace. Although things are growing toward their appropriate end, they aren't quite complete yet. And so I feel for you, Scorpio, that this is a time where you just need to be patient as that world energy, that completion of the cycle is fully coming into being. It could also be a time for you to really look at the long game this next month. So instead of looking at the little details and getting really hung up on those, it's time to look ahead, not this next month of September, but where you're seeing things going in the next 7 months or so. It's almost like you're coming up with a plan because life is shifting right now. And yet both of these cards are saying the shifts that are happening are totally meant to be. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Sagittarius. So if you're a Sagittarius or have a lot of Sag in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for September 2023. And we actually get the Queen of Wands, who for me is the actress of the tarot. She's the type of person that we all admired. She walks in the room and everyone's head turns, and she owns her power. But she also has that little black cat in front of her throne, which symbolizes the thing that makes her unique or magical. And she's unapologetic about it. She doesn't care if some people think black cats are unlucky. She puts it on full display. The Queen of Wands is teaching you to own your power, Sagittarius. This could be a month where you're really looking at what are your gifts. And instead of looking at that glass as half empty, instead of half full, Queen of Wands is really telling you to look at what you have going for you. What are your skills? What are your abilities? She's also a leader, and she holds the sunflower, which constantly turns its face toward the light of the sun. And so it's so important for you this next month, Sagittarius, to remain optimistic and to see the hope in the way before you. But as I said, the Queen of Wands is the actress of the tarot. And sometimes she says the best policy is to fake it until you make it. Sometimes we have to just trick ourselves into doing something that's good for us, and believe it and make it so by taking that action, even if we don't feel it internally at first. So I just kind of feel like this is going to be a time when you really want to access your confidence, and you also want to hold on to what's brightest within you. The advice from your inner wisdom for this next month of September, Sagittarius, is the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords is deflective. He's got the sword upraised as if he's afraid that something's going to hurt him or something's going to be an attack. And he's not working well with others either. There's that flock of birds behind him, and they're all in disarray. And this can indicate a lack of cooperation or communication with others. And when I couple Page of Swords with the stately Queen of Wands, I kind of feel like you have a choice this next month about who are you going to be. Are you going to be the confident Queen of Wands who's warm and knows her power and is unapologetic about what makes her magical? Or are you going to be on guard or defensive or deflective and kind of blindsided to what really needs to change within you? I think that there's an important internal change going on for you, but I also feel like there's an archetypal personality choice that you're making where you're really deciding which archetype is the one that you're going to follow. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Capricorn. So, if you're a Capricorn or have a lot of Capricorn in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for September. And the card we get is the Eight of Swords reversed. Now, for me, when the Eight of Swords comes up reversed, it indicates that you're slipping out of the old mental traps that are making you believe that you are less than you're truly worth or truly are. The Eight of Swords reverse can also indicate a time when you're stepping out of a paralyzing fear, where you're so worried about making the wrong choice that you're making no choice at all. And so I feel, Capricorn, that this is a time when you're taking those first shaky steps towards your security again. It might also be a time when it's important for you to really just let your spirit transcend and to step out of something that's been an old mental habit or old mental pattern that's keeping you feeling scared, powerless, or stuck. I just feel like there's a shift of perspective going on. And when this card comes up reversed, it just indicates that those old tight ropes are slipping off of you. And you just need to do the rest of the work of cutting yourself free from them and the negative thinking that might keep you stuck in that sense of powerlessness. Second card is going to be advice from your inner wisdom to help you with that Eight of Swords reverse. And we got the Justice card. And Lady Justice is the archetype of truth. She tells you that the quickest way toward balance for you is going to come when you're honest with yourself. And this might be a time to be honest even about your own fears or the things that you're needing to transcend. Also, I feel with Justice that this is a no-nonsense card. So this could be a time when you're really calling yourself out for powerless thinking, where you're being too passive or too worried or too anxious about something. And Lady Justice is just like, okay, what needs to be done? Let's just lay down the law. I feel like your truth is going to set you free. And I feel like the truth of the matter for you is that you are powerful, that you don't need to be stuck or scared, and that this is going to be a time when you're really stepping out of something that's been disempowering for you for quite some time. Lay the law down. Be clear and direct with others, not in a cruel way, but in a dispassionate way. And I think that life is going to open up to you beautifully by the end of the month. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Aquarius. So if you're an Aquarius or have a lot of Aquarius in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for September 2023. And we have the competent King of Wands. For me, the King of Wands is the survivor of the tarot. And he's got that little lizard next to his throne, which doesn't allow its temperature to get too hot or too cold. And so this could be a time when you're also taking the temperature on your own emotions, your own feelings about something you might feel strongly about, and you're really being moderate. This is also a card of wise counsel. Either you're delivering the wise counsel to others, or it might be a time to accept wise counsel yourself. But the King of Wands is telling you that the answers are out there, and that it's time to really focus on surviving and looking at the long game. And finally, the King of Wands is the survivor of the tarot. And he's telling you that you're going to survive whatever's in front of you right now. This too shall pass. This is sort of your trial by fire. And it's your proving ground. And so you really do have a choice. And I think the choice should be, when the King of Wands steps up, to step up and to really know that you can handle what's in front of you. The advice from your inner wisdom that's coming for this next month is the Knight of Pentacles. And of all the knights in the tarot, the Knight of Pentacles is the one who's on the horse that isn't moving forward at this time. He can represent delays, something that you're hoping to see move forward, but it feels stuck. And he's trying to get these fields to grow behind him, but they're all brown at the moment. And what this just says is that something might not be in its season. And you might, with that King of Wands card, need to look at the long game and know that this is your own trial by fire. However, beneath those brown fields behind the Knight of Pentacles, there is growth happening and the seeds are germinating. And so, Aquarius, I feel like you're needing to look at the long game, but you're also needing to pay attention to the present moment. Sometimes the horse not moving forward right now is making us aware of something presently that we need to pay attention to. So instead of living in the future, like so many Aquarians do, it's time to be present. It's time to look around you right now for what's staring you in the face. Sometimes the wise counsel could just be something that's coming on the breath of the winds that you're just needing to be aware of in this moment. And finally, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Pisces. So, if you're a Pisces or have a lot of Pisces in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for September 2023. And we got the happy ending card of the 10 of Cups. There's the family on the card, and they're embracing, which can symbolize powerful, wonderful relationships that are in your own life right now, or a good resolution with them. And then the children are dancing, which can symbolize joy or new beginnings. But that rainbow in the sky really does imply that you've come through a storm, and yet there's this new hope. There's this new beginning on the horizon for you. I feel for you, Pisces, that something you've really been worried about for quite some time comes to a happier conclusion than you might have thought for this next month of September. This is also a card of gratitude, and that attitude of gratitude will ensure that more wonderful things are going to come your way. It's going to attract it to you. So it might be a time to look around you at your blessings, at the things that are wonderful in your own life, and to affirm those things and to appreciate them, because that's just going to invite more of that energy in. And finally, that 10 of Cups can just indicate it's time to bring something to a contented close. If you've been working on it for a long time and it's just time to finish it, this card says you're finally ready to finish the job. The next card is going to be advice from your inner wisdom for September 2023 for Pisces. And we actually get the 9 of Swords. And what this card tells you is that your fears can actually cheat you out of acknowledging what you're grateful for, the wonders that are going on in your life. The 9 of Swords is the card for me of worry, worry, worry. And it can indicate not that bad things are happening to you this next month, but that you may be perceiving a reality through a lens or a filter internally, a mental chatter that's making you see things as worse than they really are. And so the 9 of Swords for me is telling me that it's important that you are seeking out connection, that you're not in isolation, that you're not worrying about something on your own, especially when we couple it with the relationship card of the 10 of Cups. It may be a time to seek out support and just ask a best friend or a trusted counselor, am I crazy or is this what's going on? And they'll say, yeah, you're crazy. That's totally not what's going on. And that may help snap you out of some sort of a mental cycle where you're ruminating, you're isolating, and you're just kind of chewing on something without it seeing any improvement. I just feel like sunlight is going to be the best disinfectant for you this next month, Pisces, and it's going to come through the form of supportive individuals. And that is my monthly Tarotscope for September 2023. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy this video or you find my tarot content useful, please like it and share it with a friend. And also make sure that you subscribe. I'm also the author of Fearless Tarot and Tarot in Love, which are both available from Llewellyn Books online, on Amazon, at your favorite metaphysical bookstore, and also on my website, elliotoracle.com. I have signed copies available there. I hope you have a wonderful, safe, and happy September this next month, and take care of yourself and each other. And you can be sure that you'll see me again here next month for October's Tarotscopes.